Hey everybody, this is Lance, and today we're gonna. Thanks for coming along and painting with me today. Today we're going to paint with me if you want or whatever, but I'm just gonna do a landscape. I've never done a square canvas, so we'll do this today. It's a 12 by 12. I'm just gonna do a mountain and some water and see how it turns out. So hopefully everybody's doing good and enjoy it. Today we're going to start out, and I'm going to do a little bit down here, a little tiny bit of crimson. I'm going to use that, and I want it to be kind of like the horizon's going to be, it's around here. I think I want it today. I'm just going to do this. That's going to break up my horizon line. Okay. Maybe lower, doesn't matter. Okay. Just kind of do this and get some color on there. I'm just tapping into this brush here and a little bit, and then bring it up. And there. Might have some water down here in this corner, so we're going to pull that down here. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to worry too much about perspective today. I think the water is going to come out of the painting. We'll see. That looks pretty good though. Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to take a little bit of, actually I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to take a little bit of purple, put that right in here. Give this thing some cool colors. Okay, bring that up. I had some purple or violet paint in my, sometimes when I'm brushing like this and I guess I'm talking, you can't hear me, so I'm going to try not to talk and blend this at the same time. Somebody had posted on my channel, I couldn't hear a thing he was saying. So, okay, I'll try to do better. Sorry. See that? Good color. And you can mix, you can get violet too, just mixing blue and crimson together. I thought I'd try that today. I'm going to take some phthalo blue, just touching it on my thing. And then start up here with the phthalo blue. Okay. Kind of get that. I'm going to put some clouds in, I think, today. I don't think this is going to take long. I'm going on vacation, so I'm trying to get something to post for the week people can enjoy. And if you're doing this painting for the first time, I put a white medium on there, and it's just a thin oil paint. And then when you add this on the canvas, it's so easy to blend. And if you're just starting out painting, I highly recommend doing it this way, because you'll have fun and you'll probably get some good results, and then you may keep painting. Because if you're not having fun painting, then you're probably not going to paint for long. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll go down here and maybe add a little of that purple right here. Anything you don't want, you can cover up. Okay. Comes my cat. I was thinking of locking the door, but I'm like, oh well. As long as he doesn't jump up on the... And I'm just grabbing some phthalo blue now and just kind of making that down here. And you can almost, when you're doing this, you can just take and, when you're doing this, you can match the, you can just do the whole thing and then paint over it when you comes down to doing your water and you put land in. But see how easy that is to blend? I mean, it just, it's very simple, and it's pretty, I think it's pretty nice and effective. Then I'm going to take a larger brush, order some new brushes, because a lot of my brushes are getting, I don't take very good care of them. I'm going to start in the middle here. Okay. And the more you do, if you want to make it lighter, rub it, give it a little more, and then you're good. Okay. And there might be some, work that up, just like that. Try not to talk too much, I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Down here, we're just going to go this way, okay? Go back up. So there's our sky and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some clouds in this one, and I'm going to use a fan brush and do them again. I'm going to try to get this one here might work good. Maybe a little too big. Try this one. Might be a good one. Maybe this will do. Try this little guy here. This is just a fan brush I got at the art store. So I'm going to load up some color. I'm going to take a little bit of pink, and see how it'll make it a little, give it a little color, so it's not pure white. Okay, and we're just going to kind of come in and mush, and just kind of, you know, you can lift it up, bring it down. This is the easiest way to paint clouds. Okay. Just let that brush move around and over here. Some more. There. So you're just pushing in and just getting paint on this little fan brush. A little more of that red in there, or that crimson. Okay. And we're just pushing in. Okay. Maybe we got that, and you want a little bit more up here. And I'll just do that, and then we can come in and move some stuff down there, and that kind of just floats on in. Very easy way to paint clouds. And they just kind of mix in. Some of it's thicker, some of it's thinner right in here. So, you know, and then you can bring this brush we used, and you can kind of come in and just kind of maybe blend some of that out a little bit. You can do this way, that, whatever, just kind of go over them. This paint's thick, so it won't disappear on us, okay? If you want, you can pull the tops up a little bit, okay? Barely touching, though. You don't want to destroy them. So there you got a nice cloud that looks like it's coming down. Kind of coming down and getting lower here. Let's try something else here. Let's do this. Right there, get a little more. In here. Up there, you can get a little more right there. If you want to give them a little more up top, kind of highlight them a little more. After you blend them, you can come back in and put more on them, like here. Okay. And that kind of, there, gives a little more white. Then you can take this guy, this brush, and do the same thing, just kind of barely touching, you know. Pull it up a little bit if you want. There. That way you got some little highlights on the clouds, and they look, you know, pretty good. This one here, you can maybe, you know, just touch the bottom. Okay, maybe blend some of this out down here. And then you can come back in and put another layer in front of it. So watch this. Okay, red in there. Crimson, I guess, sorry. And I'm getting a dirty brush, but that's okay. And then right here, okay, come in, and maybe there's a little bit right. There's a cloud here, but maybe he goes over here. I'm getting a lot of paint when I'm pushing in there, right? There. So that one hopefully looks like it's in front of the other one. Okay. And we'll take this big brush again. And you can use a blender too. There's all kinds of brushes you can use here. But I'm just going to kind of, you can just twirl and spin. And sometimes it's better to take the bottoms and try to flatten them out. Okay. And pull these up. Maybe this one kind of goes this way. This one goes this way. And you're getting some paint on there. So you got to kind of, you know, if you get too much, you know, that's fine. But you got to kind of be careful. Blend them away. Okay. Kind of get, you know, you got brush strokes, and then just go over it. Sometimes you get brush strokes in, but so those look like pretty realistic little clouds. You know, maybe just want a little something up here. You know, move it around. The more sporadic you are, the better it looks. If you try to make them perfect, they don't think they turn out that well. my opinion, but okay. And then just come in and just soften them. When that does, what this does is it sets them back into the, makes them look farther away when you blend them out. Okay, so there, those don't look too bad. Kind of looks a little down here where it's purpler. It looks like the shadows in there. Looks like maybe it might want to rain. Okay. All right, let's take, and I'm going to do a, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to start making a mountains today. And I think I'm just going to make a pointy mountain. I'm going to take this, my color's getting a little dry, so hopefully it works, but we'll see. I could mix it with a little paint thinner, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just taking this dark color and I'm grabbing some of that, and I'm going to make my mountain here. If this doesn't work, we can do something else, but I think I want my mountain to be right here today. Let's see. Let's do it right here. And so we want it, I don't want it way high. I want to put it right about here. I want to start it, okay? I want it to come down. This stuff might not work. Maybe I can get a little paint thinner on there. Oh, why that stuff got so dry. Oh, that might help. There. I just use some paint thinner. Usually it's odorless, because I don't like the smell of paint thinner in the house. So, okay. So I took some paint thinner in place. So yeah, you'll see. Okay. See? And then I'm just going to kind of pull that down. I want it to be really kind of a point today. I don't want it to be too fat, you know. You can come over here and still go down. And you can get, like, I like to get my initial mountain out like that. And then after you change your, then you can come in and put other peaks and stuff in. And these, you know, they're easy to do, but they can definitely get very large very fast. So careful. And then over here, maybe we can have one. Okay. And pull that down. See? I'm just getting a roll of paint on here and just kind of pulling that over. You know, that's, maybe that'll go like that. See that? That kind of looked good. It was an accident, but there. All right. Now, one thing you want to do is this little, you know, we can make that go, but this one's a little, pull him down, make him, give him a little more. There. You don't want to make him look like a mountain, and something like that should be good. I mean, there's quite a bit of contrast in there, isn't there, today? All right, so what I want to do is scrape a lot of this out. I'm going to put some highlights on it, right? There. Over here, let's look at it. He comes straight down. Sometimes these mountains they work out good, and I know when I'm painting and stuff, I'll do a painting. I was like, "Oh, that one looks really good," and then you know, and what people like is sometimes different things. So if you're painting and you're maybe selling or something, and sometimes I'll sell paintings that I'm like, nobody's going to like this one, and that's the only one that sells, and the one that I thought wouldn't do good is the one that, let's put another right there. So you never know what people like, but that's okay. You know, you got, painting is fun. I don't know, gives you something to do. You're bored. It's raining today, so there. So let's use that. You know, you got those 3 little points on there. They kind of look cool. You could put another one. Maybe, you know, it makes it look like it's going into the distance a little bit. I'm going to change it around. See, and that's what you can do is when you're painting, you can do that. Just take that brush. I'm getting some dryness on there, but, you know, maybe it kind of goes away into the distance like that. Okay. We'll come back in and grab some of this and use it there. See? There. Just maybe another one goes there. And there. So you're kind of getting a little, and that's fine if that gets lighter because that's going to be farther away, isn't it? Okay, I'm cleaning the knife off on a paper towel that I use over here. I just use one of these, and I wipe stuff on it, and you tear them off as you run out of room. I think it's easier than holding on to one. Okay, so next thing I want to do is take and there's lots of ways you can do it. I'm going to use something different today. I'm going to take a little fan brush here, just pull this stuff down. See how that looks? See? Get a little more control. Just pull these out. These edges I can fix. We don't need to. This is going to pull paint out and pull it. Just kind of gives us there's lumps of oops. There. That's just dry paint there. I think I'm gonna have to throw out that paint there. So then I'm gonna grab this one I blended with, and I'm gonna use it and just kind of come in and pull some of this out because it's got a lot of bristles. And we'll pull that. You know, and you can kind of make your mountains however you want them this way. Just pull it this way, and then come down here and just, you know, kind of blend the bottom out. Missed it, whatever. See? Paint's it's pretty thick. You know, this stuff got a little thin because I put paint thinner in it, but just kind of blend that out, bring it down. So there's our peak, and we're going to put some, we're going to come in, and I'm trying to think how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to split it in half right here when I put the highlights, when I come in and do my, so easy. This is super easy. So I'm going to take some white. I don't want it to look like it's a painting that's for some white and some brown. I don't want it to be snowy today. So I'm not going to put any pure white. I'm going to mix some brown and just some, it's a white and brown, Van Dyke kind of brown. And I'm going to put some yellow ochre in the highlight side of it. When you're doing highlights, yeah, you can use brown. We'll give a little yellow ochre in there. That'll look good. Maybe some more white. And we can put different, I keep bumping there. There. And I mix it in the blue a little, which is fine. I mean, so let's say our distant ones are here. So I'm going to come in and try to come over here. And let's say our light's coming from this side today. That's usually where I like. There. And just kind of come in and touch. Okay. Just kind of touch. And you can slide the knife, or you can, you know, it don't matter. I'm going to try to darken that brown up a little more. I think I got some blue in there I didn't really want. So there we go. And you can leave it marbled and it looks even better. All right. Get this little guy. So I think I'm going to use the small edge. You just get a little roll of paint on there and just come in and touch. Get above the mountain because you want the, you know, and then just barely touching and, you know, pull that down. Over here, this little guy could have a little bit. Not much. These are kind of going into the distance, so you can put a little of that in there. See? Scrape it in there. Now this guy up here, he's going to be bigger, so we can come in and grab him and just take and pull. Let the paint break. Light, flat. You're almost holding the knife flat, you know, and just let it fall off. See that? Let the paint fall off your knife, and then as you get down, you can open the knife up a little more, and it kind of gives you, it kind of breaks easier. Let's pull this guy in front of him. Maybe he comes like that, or okay. Yeah, let's see. I think I'm gonna come here. Watch this. Kind of just, when you're doing mountains, you just want to break them in half. Okay, like see that little ridge is gonna come out in front, and make it kind of look cool. When you're putting in when you're cleaning your palette off, see? When you're cleaning off that excess paint, you can kind of detail out how you want your mountains and stuff. But I mean, that doesn't look too bad. And then over here, you just, you know, I'm trying to let it break. And angles are important. You know, how far do we want that little guy to go up? Let's see. You know, it doesn't matter. If you don't like something in your painting, change it. And watch this. Pull this way, right? We're trying to get that edge there. You can kind of do that. Now up top here, you're going to want to have some, you can leave that there actually. See that little piece? Watch this. Maybe it comes down a little there, and then this has a little chunk there that comes down, okay? So it kind of gives you a little, there's a little peak over there. And then maybe you want a little more peak here. You can just grab this and just pull that down. And just have another peak there. Maybe go up. So now it looks like there's some ridges back there and it's not too straight. And you can do another one right here if you want. Put one right here too. Pull that down. One with it. There. There. So there you got a nice mountain in the background. And it's got some good, looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So the next thing I want to do is take that same color, but I'm going to add some blue to it. I'm going to get some blue. And I got the brown, and I'm just going to use that color for our shadow colors, okay? And it's got to be lighter than what's in there, right? So we're just going to come in, like over here. Watch this. Pull that down. You can pull this way or whatever. And just kind of let that break too, you know, and whatever. There. Come in here and just grab that. Kind of find there. And I'm just getting it on the edge of the knife and just letting it kind of break. That gives you a little, you know, come down here and just let it break. And then you can see how the blue kind of, it'll pull out there a little bit and give you some cool colors. And then here and here, you just got to, you can come in and just grab him and just kind of, if you want to mush it up in there and pull it down, you can get like a mix down here. Just these little spots can be tricky. So there, see that, and then up here, just grab it and go. See, I got a little high there, but that's okay. There, kind of brings them up, and there's your shadow side up there of your mountain. Okay, and then over here, you know, you've got some dark here. So bring it over here, do the same thing. I need to make some more. I'm out. Take some of that brown, some blue. Get a little white in there, a little more white. Get a little, there. So I want to lighten it up a little bit, so let's do that. See how it goes. So right here, it'll come in and touch and pull down. I'm a little shaky today, but when you paint fast, you don't have time, you know, let stuff dry and put your hand on there. So it's kind of, sometimes it can be harder, but you just got to get used to it. There, see? These little guys, you can bring them, follow the angles. Maybe they come down here. Just give it a little over here. Just a little lighter. You know, action's going there. And over here, maybe we can get a little different, more white in there. There, see that? You can always have two to three different, you know, shades of color or values on your mountains. And when you're doing your, like here, you know, you can mix it darker, lighter. I mean, we've got quite a bit here. Get all that white in there up here. Touch. There. And it kind of gives you, there. So you got some shadows in there. I think you can see those pretty good. And, you know, you can come in here and add in some, shoot, if you want to do this, you can come back in and get some of that super dark stuff. And you can come in and put some of that in here, and there, just touch. Not a lot, but you can come in and add a little dark in there. some spots here and there if you want. You can hear. Okay, pull that in there and get some here maybe. But you don't have to overdo it, but you can have, you know, some good stuff in there. Maybe you got a little variations right in here. You want to have a little something in here. If that's too much there, just come in and touch. If you got spots that you think are too much color, you didn't break as much as you want, do this. That'll come in and break them up. See, that gives you a little more ruggedness. Maybe we want a little bit right up here. Up in here, a little ruggedness there. Cracks and crevices and things like that. So there's your mountain. That looks pretty good. I think we're done there. I don't think I need to do any more. So then I'm going to take, and we kind of want to grab this brush that we were using. And you want to kind of, I don't want to go too high, but you want to kind of come in and just tap at the bottom. Okay, a clean brush. See, and that'll get it misty. See how I'm following the angles here? You can pull down if you want. Sometimes you can go up higher. And then over here, see this little guy? That area there. Just pull, pull. So it kind of looks like it's floating, and I think that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Kind of mists out at the bottom, and then you don't go too high because then you'll lose all your mountains and stuff. But that's not a bad looking mountain. It kind of sticks out. It's got some character there. So the next thing I'm going to do is we are going to take that same color. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try to come in and take that dark that I had, but I don't think it's going to work. So I'm going to take some blue, some crimson, some of that, and we're going to need some more. Get some Van Dyke brown up there. I'm going to mix some dark for the ground. Okay, some black on the canvas. There. Crimson in there. Maybe a little more crimson too. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to get that on there. Some crimson, just some dark color. Got that brown in there. We're going to make our land. And I'm going to try to do it. I want to come across just about here. Okay. And it's going to come almost straight. I'm going to down it a little bit. Okay. This is going to be how and I've done this painting similar, but I'm doing a different one. I did it when I was first starting years ago, and I was working on it, and it was just I'm going to do some soil green in there. See how that looks. Give it a little greenish hue. But I did a similar one. I was practicing mountains, and it was so I kind of taken that. I'm kind of using that as a reference. Let's just say. So, okay, and this is just going to be my. Okay. If we want, we can bring it up a little bit. A lot of these paintings I do are kind of similar, but that's because they're easy and they're first learning wise. They're good. They're kind of easy to learn on. There, I'm going to darken that up a little bit with some of that crimson. And you can use a bigger brush here too, but I want to have a little more control when I come down to my water. And I'm not going to have. See how easy this is? Some blacks, more of that green in there. Oh yeah, that looks good. Just let the paint come off. You can see where I'm thinking of the water, huh? The little pond. And I think we can come in and do that real quick. So I'm going to take a clean brush like this, and I'm going to pull down right here. Okay. Ooh. A little more than I think. We'll do that. And maybe bring it right to here. I'm going to come in here and trying to make the pond come around a little bit. There. Not looking too bad. So we're going to pull the water. It's going to be there and there. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. And then there'll be a ridge there. And this will come all the way down. Let's finish that. Get that green in there. Oh, and it's going to come maybe down to here. There's our pond. I'm going to let it go right off the canvas. I usually block them in for perspective, but I don't care if, on this one if the eye goes this way. Oh well. Okay. We're just putting color in here. I got black, crimson, whatever I'm jumping. I got a little brown, some soil green I picked up the other day. That gives it a little, I don't know. You want to use the same colors throughout the painting if you can. So I've got crimson, black. Down here we just pull up so you can get to the bottom of that. There. And I could use a bigger brush and go faster too. Just grabbing whatever. This is just background color. We're going to put some color over it too. Okay. There, that don't look bad. Landscape's a little tilted, but that's okay. Okay. So we got that, and then we're going to come in, and like I said, we pulled this down. And this is just how you can, when it's wet, you can do that. And you kind of get your little reflections. I'm not going to put the mountains in there today. Let's say they're too far back, maybe. And I could almost, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to make that a little higher. Okay. I want to bring that up higher. There. Okay. See how that looks. Over here. Almost want that to look not too, like it's right, like we're right on it's kind of a hill. So I don't want it, this is going to be kind of closer. So there, so that looks all right. Okay. The one thing you're doing when you're pulling these down, you pull them straight. Okay. That just gives your water a little, kind of a cool little look. Now you can put the mountain back there, but I'm not gonna. And then you go this way with it, just kind of soft. And that gives it kind of a water appearance, a little sheen, whatever you want to say. Okay. Better have a little sip of my coffee. So there we got that started. And this one's going to have a lot of color in it. And the mountains too, I'm going to put probably some more highlights in them. I'm going to probably make them a little lighter with some yellow ochre and some white. So maybe I'll find my yellow ochre. There it is. Yeah. Do that. I can do that real quick. Well, I'm thinking before I forget. So I'll grab some yellow ochre, some white down here, mix it up. There, get some more yellow ochre. How's that? That looks good. Watch this now when we go up here. And we're just going to kind of touch. There's a lot of paint up here already. Just add a little highlight right up top. Okay. There, just a little bit. Over in here, I'm going to use this end of the brush, or the same thing, just grab it and, just a little bit there. Just make it stand out. Maybe that sun's coming through a little bit here. Just have fun. Just have fun. So that's going to lighten it up a little more. Yeah, maybe a little bit here. Right there, that little guy. And down here, maybe there's some, I can kind of pull that down a little bit. Maybe he's kind of sitting in front of him. Just let it bounce. There. So that just gives you a little more light on there. You know, like it's kind of sun's coming over and hitting it, and I'm not going to do anything more because I don't want it to get too much paint on there, but that looks good. And then over here, we'll just kind of let those distant ones just kind of fade away. You could put a little bit on there if you wanted, just a touch right here. There. So they got a little bit of color back there. Okay. All right. So back to and all this and this. Okay. And just throw some of this in here. Okay. There. I'm going to try to hurry. I don't know how much time I'm on here. 35 minutes. I was hoping to be done by now. So then we're going to add in some, I'm going to put some of this green in here. It's a really bright green. And I think it'll look really good. I'll mix it with some, when it mixes with what's on here. So let's try it out. Same old brush. Get some of that green and see how it looks. We're going to come in and just add some green. See that? And that's just giving us some color there. Green. Ooh. I could probably, there's so much paint on here, you can see, maybe we'll add a little white to that. I don't like a lot of white in my, I want to get it a little, how's that look? There we go. Pretty good color. You know, and bring it down here. We just want this to be some grass looking stuff. I don't know. Okay, I'm just grabbing that green, tapping it into the brush. There's a lot of paint on here, so sometimes you got to really, boom, when you're throwing this paint on, you got to kind of get aggressive and put a little on like this. Okay, so there you got a little, some green. That looks not too bad, doesn't it? Over here we can do some. Fun painting like this is when I do paintings for custom. People want a certain thing done, I got to go slower and make sure it looks like the picture, or if they want a scene. This is fun way to paint here because you just do what you want and have fun. There. So you got that green in there and that kind of makes it come alive, doesn't it? Ooh, I like that. Okay, and then of course, if you watched me paint before, I like pine trees. So we're going to mix up some more dark for trees. I'm going to take and get the black. I'll be right back. I'm going to take my black. I don't want that purple in there, but I got the black. I'm going to throw some sap green in there. It's a darker green. That one is still covered, so there, sap green. And get that in there. I'm going to do the pine trees with a different brush today. And crimson, and it'll be nice and dark, and then we can put highlights on them. There. So I'll pull my palette up here in a second so you can see it. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Take that black, get some green, get some crimson in there. This is going to be my tree color, my base color for my trees. I'm going to put that down here. There, nice dark color. There, look at that. That'll be good. Okay. And I'm going to take this same fan brush I was using. I'm going to come in and just load them up. A lot of paint, because these are going to, there's so much, there's a lot of paint, so we got to be, so I'm going to start here. And I said I was going to use a different brush. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this guy. I'm going to start here, pull that down. Say you want him right there, okay? And then I'm going to try, I have this oval brush. I've not used it much, but we'll try it today. See how it goes, because there's a lot of paint on here. And I'm going to have to mix up some more, I think. Make this big brush. Oh, I need some more black in there, maybe. Need a bigger palette. That's what I need. I have one. God, it's too big. Okay, and then get some black in there. There. That green is in there. Okay, nice sharp edge. The brush is very kind of chiseled. Okay, I'm going to come up here. Maybe we can put another one here too, but before I'll leave that. Okay, and we're going to come up here and just tap and see how this brush works. Okay, kind of nice. It kind of gives you some, I kind of want them to be airy. I don't want them to be super thick trees. Okay, we'll come on this side. You can easily overdo them too, right? Come up here and that little guy there and just touch this corner. And like some things, what I like to do is I'll show you is I'll like to, and I don't want these going up too high. Okay, I like to come back in with maybe a smaller brush up top here and just there, just tap those in a little bit. Okay, and we got this guy again. You can use like a liner brush to make your lines too. We just want some trees. Down here, they kind of just disappear, don't they? So get this guy back out, this brush, a lot of paint. Nice dark. Get that paint in the brush. Come back up here. And same thing, just maybe you start this way this time. Just knock them in. See that? Nice, easy. The trees look pretty raggedy. You know, I don't like them to be perfect, but maybe you do. That's fine. Again, just come on up. And some trees have wide limbs. You know, they all grow differently, but I think that looks all right. Okay. We're just putting a lot of paint. You can't be stingy with paint when you're doing trees, right? Maybe this one comes right here. Okay, right there. I don't want to go too far up into my mountain. But yeah, maybe there's one there and there's one here. I want these to look like there. Okay, and then now these ones I might use this brush instead because they're smaller. And just go back and forth. There. I'm just tapping back and forth. Get them down in there. And there you go. You got their nice little there. Now we can go over the other side. And I want to put one over here. There. And that's going to come right to there. I don't think I'll push anything in front today of my water. Okay. Sharpening this guy up. Look at that. How sharp that brush is. You can see that. Okay. And then we're going to come over here and start tapping. Go fast and let that brush. These work a lot better when they're still in good shape. These brushes, and he's gonna go right to there. That's where he's sitting. So I kind of want everything to kind of push back a little more right in there, you know, there. And so he's gonna be right there, and you know we're gonna have to put another one. Now in nature, or in for perspective purposes, they always say you should do odd numbers. So do whatever you want there. You can do the odd numbers, and so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh, we're gonna have to put 2 more in. One more after this, then we have to have. And one thing you can do is you can wiggle the brush like this and sharpen it, and then you really get a good edge. And we'll do this one. Just go fast. Okay, switch sides if you want over here. Maybe I won't. I don't use this brush a lot for painting trees. It's kind of bigger, but holy cow, that looks really good. Maybe it comes down and piece of cake. Look at this. I just use a disposable palette most of the time, but you can do, you know, I have other ones that I use. It's just easier when you're done if you can. But okay, we got to do another one, and this one's going to be another little small one, right? I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to leave a lot of room in there. There. Put him right there. And I'm just doing this. You know, you can, if you do this, you can really get paint to sharpen on there. And this little guy is going to be like, watch, this one's going to be a little different. We're going to come in here. And then we're going to miss a piece and just like something happened. He'd He had a rough go, I guess, at one time. There, leave a little hole in him, like he's missing a piece there. Okay, and so that gives us perspective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 trees in there. So maybe that looks a little bit better as far as everything goes there. I don't know. Okay, now we're going to have to do on this side. This is going to be fun because we got to get some of these tree reflections in there, right? So I'm going to take and go put this one here, okay, and this little guy here. He's at an angle, right? Little him in there. Okay, and then just come in, and they don't have to be perfect, right? Don't have to be perfect. And sometimes it's easier to paint them upside down. Sometimes I'll flip my canvas around and do it, but today I'm not gonna. We're getting close. Okay, and this little guy here, remember he's missing a piece? So try to keep that in the reflection too. And there's your little reflections you have. Okay, painting is easy. Okay, I'm gonna take this brush I had, and I'm gonna lightly pull down, okay, on these, very lightly. See? So it kind of gives you a little bit of a glare. And then we're going to take that same brush and go, make sure he's clean for the most part. And we're going to go, my mic's still on, it looks like it is. And we're going to just start down here. Just lightly go across, okay? There. And just leave it at that. So there you have a nice reflection in the water. You got some really good, we're going to put some highlights on here. So hold on. Now I'm going to come in. I'm going to get some of this light green again. Okay. Might be our highlight color today. But I'm going to have to get a different brush because otherwise we're not going to have any good highlights. Maybe we'll use this one today. Try this guy. He might work good. Okay, there's a new fan brush. I haven't used him much, but we'll see. And I might have to thin this a little when I get these highlights in there. I'm just using that same green we started with. Let's just see what happens here if I do this. Okay, I might have to get some yellow in with that. That might make it a nice little golden color. And we're probably gonna have to thin it with some paint thinner. Okay, I think I'm gonna mix that up. Take my mixer, and I'm just gonna take this color and that color, and we'll put it right here. Mix it up a little bit. There's my highlight colors. They might be a little wild, but I think it'll still look fine. And then where's that? Okay, right here. Got this guy. In order to get this to stick, you're gonna have to thin it a little bit. So I'm just putting paint thinner in there, like this. That's a good color, that yellow and. Okay, I'm just tapping in there. Okay, let's come up here and see about the hair out of there. Okay, so the light's coming from this way, so we want to put some light on these trees, but just a little. When you're putting highlights on trees, just use the tip of the brush. Don't get too aggressive, okay? And up in the sky, you can kind of leave. You can do more down after you hit darker down here. Just let the bottom stay dark because there's going to be shadows and stuff. Right? Okay. This one here, just a little bit here. There. So you got some green on there. Those almost look real. Sometimes they turn out where the colors really look earthy, and almost sometimes the trees will look real. And sometimes they don't. It's just part of painting. There. I'm just trying to get over here. I'm trying to focus on this side of the tree, but see a limb, just hit it. Don't forget to go in the middle because there's branches that stick out, and that little guy there. There. So there we got the trees, and we got the shadows. You can put a little in the shadow. I'm not going to do that in the water, even though there's a little bit here. I guess I will. Don't want too much. It's a little here and there. And we can pull that down and we'll do the same thing there. Okay, so let's go over here and see how we can get some highlights. And that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Let's put a little white in there. I don't like a lot of white, but it might lighten it up just a little. Stand out a little more. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's come put some of this in. Make that a little brighter. Show you what you can do when you get in, you know, back in here, you can still hit it, but just not as much paint, right? There, and your trees just kind of disappear back there. You could get a little highlight right in here maybe. Stand that out a little bit. That big one is. And that kind of pulls that tree out a little more. I think that looks good. Sometimes I'll look back in the camera and see where things are, and it kind of helps to make it look better. So yeah, that's kind of looking good. Okay, and then we can come in, and we've got a lot of good stuff here. You know, this is probably in shadow because it's, you know, the sun's coming out. Maybe a little bit shines through there. So we'll say that's fine. And if you get too much color, you can just, if you get too much, you can just come in and put darker back over it too. So there. And then we'll do one more here. I'm going to get some nice yellow. So you got to watch yellow. You don't want it to look like it's turn into winter, you know, fall, but get some on the brush. It's going to be a nice highlight. Okay, I'm going to come in right up in here. There, see? Yellow, because you know that sun, the sun's probably shooting in this way maybe. I'll come in. Don't overdo it, but so when this painting dries, you're going to have a lot of paint on it. It looks cool. Come right down to the edge of the, maybe there's a little bit that sneaks in over there. Okay. Down here. So you can kind of see where the kind of pulls your eye forward. And down here, I want that to go out, but like here you can push up. Watch this. You can kind of, just to give a little action like there. There's something going on there. You get a hair on there, like this one that just showed up. Take this guy, clean him off, pull him off. Try not to use your finger. You might not be happy with yourself when you're done. And that looks pretty good there, but then, you know, maybe I want to take a little brush. See this here? Maybe I want to pull that up a little bit. Okay, put some little grassy things right in there. Maybe down here you want a little closer to you, so maybe you'd see some grass. You get too much light in there, like there, you can come in and throw some dark in. Down here, see? Down below that. Here. Have dark at your, towards the, you know, as it gets closer, you want things to get, things usually get a little darker, don't they? Yeah, over here you can put some, just push up if you want. See that? And that kind of gives you a little, some shadows. That almost looks like it's really a lot of thick grass. So if it is, I think I have an idea here. I'm going to just take this guy. I'm just going to run him through the paint, and I'm going to go, maybe we can do a little, pull some grass in there, bigger ones. You know, see? It's easy. It's right there. There. So you got a little grass popping up there in the front, and you can go all the way across. Do it, you know. Just kind of pulling through there. You're just getting some dark, you know. See that? This is kind of a, when you get, and just pull down. Or push up. You can go up with it. you know, get some stuff in there. Now you got a lot of dark there, but then you can come back in and get some of that nice yellow and put some yellow in there. Okay, an easy way to do grass. And below here, just grab. Some are no, they're not always straight. You know, some go this way, right? There. So you got a little tuft of grass down there in the front. I think that's it for there. Okay, let's see how we doing on time. 55 minutes. I think that's a good time to stop. There's a few things you could do here, like let's take. I need some white, but you kind of want to go in. Maybe you can come in here and get a little land. Right back in here, just kind of right. You got some of this dark, this color. Just kind of see that gives you a little land or whatever back there. Darker. Maybe that comes over to there. So you kind of have a little land in the background there to make that done. Now, one other thing we probably should try. Oh, we did these. We'll just take these and go this way. Got that little green in there, remember? Pull that to the side. Pull this one down a little bit. There. That gets that green in there in the water, and then you can kind of gives you an idea. Now, another thing, get me a little bit of white. Thin it up a little bit. And I was going to put a cabin in here, but no, I don't think I will, because I'm pretty much, this is pretty good, pretty long, so it's probably about done. And you can fast forward through here too, if you want. You know, you don't have to watch the whole thing, obviously. And we can come in and maybe put a little water line in here. See that? You can get a little paint thinner in there to thin it up. Or you can use that white medium. Yeah, make it flat. And then just cut across. Get a little bit on the end of the knife, and then just, you know, see? Put that in there. And then you can come in and get some more right in here. This way it'll kind of push the painting, get some reflections in the water. See? You just, if you get too much, you just keep going over it, like here. Yeah. There. So it gives you a little something cool to look at back there. And then I think we're done. I think that's a decent painting to do. And thanks for watching, and give it a try, and have a great day.